Okay, back in. I need to change. Apparently the music is overwhelming. I don't want to turn it too far down because I love the music. I'm going to start my heavily modified installation of Fallout 3. This is the Ultimate Edition or the Game of the Year Edition. I think the Game of the Year Edition. This will mostly be a solo play, although I'll probably broadcast it when somebody wants to join in and comment on it and see it. I've played Fallout 3 all the way through. I don't think I've ever completed every single expansion DLC in one single playthrough. No, I don't think I have. I've usually skipped one or two in almost every single playthrough. I have finished the game until the point where you can't actually continue playing on anymore without using a mod. I guess twice, but I've also gone, most of the way through the game or played through to a certain point, probably another 3 or 4 times. This is actually probably, it's easily my favorite Fallout game by a long shot. I've played New Vegas as well. I have not played Fallout 4 yet. I will. I didn't really care for New Vegas, but I'm sure we'll get to New Vegas at some point. Shannon is really wanting to play New Vegas with me because she likes it a lot better than Fallout 3. I know a lot of really respected people really didn't care for Fallout 3. I think depending on the context, there's a lot of different reasons for different people to have not liked it. The game certainly has its problems in the default configuration. As I mentioned earlier, I've got probably about 70 different mods running with this, and that's to change the behavior of some people. It's to give me an opportunity to do a couple of quests differently because nobody really liked how they were shipped out with the default game. The big one being, I'd be willing to bet you've probably beaten this game yourself a dozen times if you're watching this, and are probably just wanting to revisit someone else's playthrough to see what they do differently or what their opinions are on the game. I initially wasn't even going to play Fallout 3 when it came out until I saw another Let's Play of it that really impressed me. Sorry, while I'm talking about all of this, I'm trying to construct in my mind what order I'm going to be doing some of the first steps and a couple of things that you have to keep in mind, like to not use any of the books or other enhancements until you get the fast learning perk. I'll have to go back and look that up. Stupid, I've got flies in here too. There's just it's one of those things that and it's not the only game, but Fallout 3 is one of those games that at this point in history, doing a playthrough of Fallout 3 is more of an art form than following a guide or anything like that. Everybody's got their own particular way that they believe is the best way to do a playthrough of Fallout 3. I wish I could make a claim that I've got some kind of a unique or different way to play through. I have no idea if I do or not. I've tried on a couple of different playthroughs. I've used at least 2 different walkthroughs just as a checklist to make sure I don't miss anything. I used the one that I used on the last time I played through was exhaustive, reasonably accurate, but it also took a lot of the fun out of the game because it was written at such a level of completion that I had hit level 20 before I was even working on the main plot, really. And it's possible to get too far into this game. I do actually use some things that make the game a little bit easier. The default game weapon degradation happened at a fairly extreme rate. Like, you could use up a rifle where it was no good with just a battle or two, which was kind of silly. I've got a mod where you can set the degradation to different levels, but I usually just leave it at the default, which allows me to steadily repair guns and keep going, and I don't have to worry about actually running out of ammo. I don't use any of the survival mode mods where you have to eat and drink and have to be much more stringent about your radiation levels. The game's already in pure fantasy areas regarding how much of how the post-apocalyptic United States works, so I don't really feel strongly drawn to making it a realistic survival. I don't honestly understand those who think that that's the best way to play the game, is to try to make it like this is a real post-apocalyptic wasteland that I'm trying to survive in. And because I'm like, no, because nuclear weapons don't even work the way they're depicted in the game. This game is pure fantasy. It's got some very weak links into reality, and I think that's perfectly fine. You can play the game as is, and then of course add your 70 mods. So we're going to go through the new game process and the introduction to your character, and then most likely I'm going to quit recording while I create the character, and I'll get into some more detail on that in just a minute. So let's get started. Something else that I also really appreciated in Fallout 3 that you don't really get in New Vegas. Of course, chances are, again, if you're watching this, you've seen the video of this opening sequence probably dozens and dozens of times. I am not a dinner. The radio. Did you see the brand name of the radio? Radiation. People are just now starting to grasp exactly how big of an impact Bethesda's Fallout 3 had on gaming. That musical sting has become so significant in gaming. That I noticed in World of Warships they've changed the and I don't know if it's for every battle, but I know the victory.
War.
Hello, Ron.
War never changes. Since the dawn of humankind, when our ancestors first discovered the killing power of rock and bone, blood has been spilled in the name of everything, from God
battles,
to justice
battles,
to simple psychotic rage.
Out some leveling. Has a little and then it kind
In the year
fades out and has
2077,
the,
after millennia of armed conflict, the destructive nature of man could sustain itself no
it's
longer.
ubiquitous now.
The The world was plunged into an abyss of nuclear fire
What I was
and
saying earlier,
radiation.
I really think Fallout 3
But it was not,
nailed
as some
a lot
had
of
predicted,
the look and tone
the end of the world.
of at least the way
Instead,
I've always viewed Fallout.
The apocalypse was simply the prologue
Much
to another bloody
better
chapter of human history.
than
For man
New
had succeeded
Vegas
in destroying the world.
did, where they really tried
war-
to change up the tone and do something different.
War never changes.
Which I appreciated. That was one of the things that I didn't do very much in my last playthroughs. I just
In the
didn't
early
spend
days,
a lot of time
Thousands were spared the horrors
in
of the
all those
Holocaust
little nooks
by
and
taking
crannies
refuge in enormous underground
in
shelters
downtown
known as vaults.
DC, and I'd really like to get back to doing some of that.
But when they emerged, they had only the hell of the wastes to greet them. All except those in Vault 101. For on that fateful day, when fire rained from the sky, the giant steel door of Vault 101 slid closed and never reopened.
And of course, I've seen a few clips of
It was
gameplay
here
and there.
you were
that's-
born.
I don't have any problem with like
It is here
mechanics
you
or
will
anything.
die.
The game looks like it's going to be fun
Because
to
in Vault
play.
101, no one ever
Really
enters,
don't
and no one
like how
ever
colorful
leaves.
the game is. It shifting the color tones down, limiting the color range, creating some kind of consistent theme. Oh, and here's us being born.
Let's see. Are you a boy or a girl?
I think I need to crank up the voices a little bit. Girl.
It's a girl?
That's
A
Dr.
girl.
Lee.
We've got a
and
daughter,
Dad.
Catherine. A beautiful, healthy
James.
baby girl.
Oh, James. We
That's
did it.
Mom.
Daughter. Oh, our beautiful daughter.
You've got a bright future ahead of you, sweetie. I'm sure of it. Look at you. Look at you. Hi there. I'm your daddy, sweetheart. Daddy. You're going to need a name, aren't you? Your mother and I have been talking. What do you
Said
think
it's
about it?
not. It seems like they do establish at some point that this actually is in a vault. It's not clear if this is in Vault 101. Seems like they kind of retconned some of that in one of the expansions. They added a little bit of more depth to the backstory. Oh, a name, a girl's name, and I don't know what I'm going to look like in this one. The character creator is barely adequate for a modern game, I guess. I guess it was pretty good at the time, but there weren't a lot of options, and I haven't expanded the character creator to any great extent. Oh man, I should have thought this out. I needed a better theme. I usually go with something unisex, but I'm rejecting my first idea there. The last game was Charlie, and I can't remember what it was the game before that. I just lose track. I just completely lose track. And I just watched a short documentary on Henry Hill, and so the word Lufthansa keeps going through my head. I'm not going to do Henry. I could just do Hill. I'm not going to do Herbert. So they use pretty basic names in this game. And, no, I can't do that because there's already a character in the game named that. And of course, no one ever actually says your name. It's pure text. There.
That's a good name, don't you think? Fits you perfectly. Looks like they've finished the gene projection. Let's see what you'll look like when you're all grown up.
Oh, there's the default. Always, always, always. I cannot remember if you customize. Oh, okay, yeah, I did get the mod that brightens this up because they had this run so... Okay. So little differences. I can't remember if this even makes much of a difference if you go into customize. General. Heavy, light, thin, wide, back, forehead. Good. Good, good. Brow. Inner. Good. Outer. Now, look this way, please. That'll work. Eyes. Up. Down. Larger. No, I liked it better where it was. Quit looking away from me, please. Back. Nose. Bridge depth. Need a bigger nose. No. Quit looking away. Ah! Okay. Wider. Okay, there we go. Yeah, that'll work. Oh, sideways again. Not liking where this is going. Feel like I'm losing control here. There was one thing that I liked in New Vegas quite a bit. There was the survival horror expansion. Anybody remember that? All the guys in gas masks, and you had to fight your way through some kind of villa and then get into an old hotel or something. I liked that one. That one was fun. Okay, chin. Don't want to recess chin. Nope. Way too much. Shorter. Back, tone. There we go. Flushed. Blue. Turn the yellow down. Deeper eye sockets. Shadow to the eyebrows. Eyeliner's not really making a difference. That's paler. There it is. There's somewhere around in there. There's just kind of a little tilt over. That'll work. Less. Good eye color. Ghoul, huh? That could be interesting. Drug addict. Yeah, I'm a mutant, right? Okay, back. Next. Hairstyle. I haven't even used a lot of these, to be honest with you. Can I zoom out a bit? That's interesting. Ears kind of glitch through that, don't they? Completely forgot I had a lot of these installed. I really did. That's a little different. Can't even remember what all of these are from, honestly. I think that's what I used last time. Well, that's interesting. I like that. Hair color. That's impressive. Red, green. Add the blue back in. Way too pink. That's unique.
You're going to look a lot like your dad. See that, Catherine?
Oh, oh, beautiful. Just like her daddy.
Really? I don't
It's a
see
big
the
world out there,
resemblance.
honey, full of all sorts of people. What about you? What kind of person are you going to be? You're just
James?
Catherine?
James.
Catherine! She's in
Something's-
cardiac arrest. Start compressions.
Something's-
Get the baby out of here. Move! Move! 1,000. 2, 1,000. Come on. Hang on.
And
Catherine.
Mom's
Hang
dead.
on. Okay?
We need a doctor, not a deadbeat. Fail to meet my expectations and there will be repercussions.
Don't
James,
look straight
it's
into
Chili
the
Chatter.
line of decorations
May
or
your future be
donated
bright.
toys, and this place will feel something you could use just like home.
Oh,
Come on
Dad
over here,
actually looks a little
come on.
different now.
Walk to Daddy.
Use the left stick to move around. The right stick turns you. Options, settings, audio. Okay, I've got voice cranked and I'm still not hearing anything.
You can make it.
Okay, that's a little better. Okay. Up,
Over
down, left, right.
Come to Daddy.
Can't. Need
Over
to check
here.
settings. I'm getting a little bit more jitter on this than I wanted.
You can make it.
Okay, we'll get to that.
Just a little further.
Oh,
There you go.
I was 1
My
millimeter away.
goodness, just a year old and already walking like a pro. Your mother would have been so proud. Listen, kiddo, I know you don't like it when Daddy leaves you alone, but I need you to take care of yourself for a minute. You just stay here while Daddy runs to his office. You'll be okay, honey.
well, there's a
I'll be back
locking
in-
fail. Okay, yep. Click the right thumbstick. Ah, blew it. Pick up the ball. Can't get it over the fence. Come on. Come on. Ah! It's too big. I can't do it. Just can't get it high enough. Oh, well, I can kick it. Coca-Cola. Remember this. Oh, I thought I had an HD version of that. Or maybe it's not here. I think it's only in the rest of the game. I've got several HD mods installed. Pick lock very hard. Need a 100. No way I can cheat my way to a 100. To jump up on the chair, push Y. Yay! Okay. If I remember correctly, there literally is nothing left to do except set your stats, and except you can then reset them later. You can. Some people set your stats to work to accomplish certain things. during this introductory section, and then once you move on to the next section of the game, you're actually given an opportunity to completely reset everything. And I have no idea how. I've never actually done that. Set the special book specifically for getting through the introduction in a special way. Special. Ha 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 ha. Yes, that's literally what you're doing. You're setting it to get through the introduction in a special way. Comic Sans. I never noticed that. What you have to accomplish in the introduction is talk to a lot of people. I can't actually remember needing to convince anyone of something. There might be a couple of speech challenges. You have to engage in physical combat. You have the option of using some handguns later on, but they're also not required. You can stick to melee. Hang on, be right back. While talking this over, I can look up a couple of bits of information, although, crud, my tablet's almost dead, so I'll be right back again. Okay. Grabbed a charging cable right quick, plug that in. Hope I don't turn my microphone off when I do it. I've got a huge USB port that sits right underneath my monitor. Dock thing. It's got like 10 or 15. Oh. Not what I meant to do. Okay, am I charging? That says no, I'm not charging, which means I'm not getting enough juice out of this USB dock. Except the charge just went up from 21 to 23%. So maybe I am. One of the big things in the game that you can do is you can kind of set a default play style that you can then focus on. Game. Look up some guides right quick. Fallout 3. Yes, Fallout 3, not Fallout 4. One of the biggest things is if you're going to do melee, then you really have to focus on doing melee, and that starts early in the game. You can start building it then, because if you're going to, melee death claws and robots and everything, you've got to build your strength up early, and you have to focus solely on getting all of the perks that make meleeing everything in the Capital Wasteland feasible. There's even, you can go get a unique fist weapon very early in the game if you feel like you're up to it. Think. I don't particularly enjoy doing a melee specific character. It just, to me, it always felt a little bit more realistic than in the Capital Wasteland. You would want to be, sniping things and, getting rid of things as early as you possibly can. So I generally focus on small arms, pistols, handguns, and rifles. But you also reach the point that some of the enemies that you will run into, and this is before too terribly long in the game, you have to have heavy weapons or energy weapons to do anything about. And if you're focusing on melee, I think that you've got to be like level 10 or 15 before you can even hope to melee some of them. Otherwise, you're doing a whole lot of running across the wasteland and dodging and trying to get them to leave you alone while you snipe at them, which is why I tend to focus on small arms fire from the very beginning. Okay. I never really see a point in doing it any other way, honestly. Let's see. Hang on, I'm going to have to come back. The dog is barking now.